Hello students. Our last lecture was dedicated to the basic understanding of what air pollution is and how it occurs and how it could be stopped. Now we are going to discuss in detail a little bit more about the pollutants which cause air pollution. So we are going to see how many types of air pollutants are there and what types are actually very hazardous for us, and we are going to discuss photochemical smog as well in that. So first of all, try to understand how many types of air pollutants are there. There are two types of air pollutants. One is primary type and the second one is secondary type. Now the name suggests that this would be somewhat simpler and this would be somewhat complex. So that is what lies inside the classification. That in the primary pollutants we had talked about the size of particulate matter, that it shouldn't be lower than a given size, and we had talked about the various poisonous gases which were the source of air pollution. So primary pollutants are those pollutants which are released as it is from the source. Alright, that means when they enter the air, there is no further change inside them due to the condition of the air, atmosphere I must say. So primary pollutants are those pollutants which are released as it is into the atmosphere. For instance, if I am talking about the particulate matter, if it was having a size of 1.6 microns, so that particulate matter was released as it is in the atmosphere. It won't go any further degradation or change, for instance. That is why it is known as primary pollutant. CO, that is carbon monoxide, other hydrocarbons which are volatile oxygen gases that come into atmosphere like methane, which are also poisonous, and sulfur dioxide and nitrous oxides, all these are primary pollutants. But when we go to the next classification, that is the secondary pollutants, they would be primary pollutants which would undergo further change in the atmosphere in their composition and create more problem for the atmospheric composition in a way to the organisms which are dependent on the atmospheric oxygen and other gases for the intake. Now when I talk about secondary pollutants, I am referring to two conditions. We had talked about smog and acid rain earlier, but we don't know what they basically are. So one is photochemical smog, the famous smog of London, you might have heard about it. So we are going to see the chemical reactions which are taking place behind that particular smog formation. Now first of all, understand what is smog. Smog is word derived from smoke plus fog. Alright, so we take SMOG, that makes smog. Now any person can simply make it out that smog would be when there is fog and smoke would come and both would combine and smog would be formed, but there is a basic reaction which is taking place behind the formation of smog, and it is totally dependent upon nitrous oxides and ozone. So what are the basic pollutants in a smog are the various nitrous oxides and a very strong pollutant, that is PAN. First one happens to be, let me illustrate it, that what are the components of a smog. If you're seeing smog or if you're hearing about smog, what components would be present in that smog? It would be nitrous oxides, alright, first one. Then secondly, there would be peroxyacyl nitrates, and these are poisonous. And the third one is ozone. Ozone is also poisonous. We say that ozone is good for us, it is protecting from the UV radiations. Yes, it does, but if it is present in the lower atmosphere, it is a poisonous gas for us. If I am provided with ozone in this room, I cannot survive because it is poisonous. It does not help in any metabolic activity as oxygen does. Though it is oxygen only, but it is heavy oxygen. It is three atoms of oxygen are making one molecule. So basically these three components are the pollutants present in photochemical smog and how it is formed. Now when we talk about primary pollutants, we say that every automobile engine or any burning process would release this thing, that is nitrogen would combine with oxygen for combustion of it, and it would give rise to nitrous oxide. Yes, it does. It does. This reaction takes place inside the engine or any industry, but whenever it comes out in the atmosphere, what happens next is the formation of secondary pollutants. Secondary type of pollutants would be formed and they would be more hazardous as compared to the primary ones. Now this nitrogen on combination with oxygen would further combine with oxygen in the atmosphere, because oxygen is abundantly present in the atmosphere. So we have nitrous oxide that combines with oxygen in the atmosphere and it makes nitrogen dioxide. Now what happens is that the solar radiations are basically responsible for further converting these. That means in a sunny area, that's why you see these smog formations whenever there is a bright sunny period in a given area. So the UV radiations come and they lead to breakdown of this molecule and formation of nascent oxygen. Now you know, whenever nascent oxygen would be present, it would go and bind with the oxygen in the air and form the first pollutant, that is ozone. Now this ozone is responsible for combination with the nitrogen dioxide and formation of peroxyacyl nitrate. So you are getting, in a way, the first pollutant was being added by the primary source, that is the combustion of any hydrocarbon that release this particular gas, and this further combined with oxygen and UV radiations, which led to the generation of ozone in the atmosphere, in the lower atmosphere, which is in which we are immediate contact to, and these further reactions led to the formation of another poisonous pollutant, that is peroxyacyl nitrate. So this entire thing would take place in the atmosphere, and what you would get as a result is brown air would be present over there. That is that usually when you see fog, it is not smoky. So in photochemical smog you are going to find smoky fog that would be present, and there is no role of fog formation as seen in the winter. So this particular reaction is taking place in the atmosphere, and this has taken place inside the industry or the automobile engine, from where the exhaust has come out into the atmosphere. As soon as it comes out, it interacts with the solar radiations and it forms the photochemical smog. Alright, now what we deal with next is acid rain. Acid rain would also have same result, that some secondary pollutant would be formed in the same way, but here it won't interact with the solar radiations, it would interact with the water vapors which are present in the atmosphere. And you know, there is a lot of water vapor present in the atmosphere. So the nitrogen, oxides of nitrogen, again we have oxides of nitrogen, which are the most notorious ones. Why I say that? Because they are responsible for the formation of these secondary pollutants. So the nitrogen, oxides of nitrogen are going to combine with water vapors in the air or atmosphere, and they're going to fall whenever the rain is taking place. They're going to combine with it, and another oxide, notorious one, is sulfur dioxide, that would also combine with water, and whenever that rain would fall, it would fall in the form of mild acid. And whenever you feel that acid is present onto your skin or any surface, it brings some sort of deterioration in the form of corrosion. So such pollution, pollutants and pollution is often leading to large effects other than these. These are directly added into the atmosphere, and these, after being added to the atmosphere, these primary pollutants itself, when they interact with other components of the atmosphere, are going to create greater havoc, that is in the form of secondary pollutants. Thank you.